932 Community Radio, KOZI, joining us from Chelan Basin Conservancy, Brian Patterson. Hi, Brian.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Pretty good.
And also Tony Crosetto. How are you doing, Tony?
I'm doing great, Mr. Mars. How are you?
I am great.
Awesome.
How was the car show? Did you enjoy that?
You know, we didn't do the car show
this year.
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. I just figured you would have. I mean, you know. Okay.
Sharon's won, both shows a couple times. So, she's letting other people win now.
All right. That's the way that works.
We actually went up and did the Moses Lake Air Show this past weekend.
How was that?
Oh, that was great.
Yes.
It was a lot of fun.
It's always nice seeing those static displays and all the planes. Did you get inside the fighter jets?
No, they didn't have quite as much military hardware this year for static displays. Last year they had like a C-17 cargo jet you could walk through, but it wasn't quite as much on the ground. But the aerial,
great shows.
Yeah, the aerials was great. It was a lot of fun.
Good. Well, everybody probably flying to Iran. Who knows?
I was thinking that. I wonder if that was
or at the ready. At the ready.
Exactly.
Also with us is Brian. Brian, did you have a good weekend?
You did. I'm part of the local Rotary Club here.
Oh,
we put on
you
the
were
Cycle
right.
Chelan.
Yeah.
And so, I was in charge of the North Shore part of the course.
All right. Well, hey, what a great job. I really like the way people in the community were respecting those cyclists out there.
Yes, and we try to get the message out early so people are aware to look out for the cyclists.
6 weeks you guys were talking about it. Yes.
It's great.
So, and what a great event. And, of course, all the money goes to some scholarships in the area.
Scholarships for Chelan and Manson High School students. So we love doing that.
Way cool. Well, what we're here talking about, Chelan Basin Conservancy, we heard Nick's report about the water. I imagine water is something you guys are concerned about as well.
Correct. From a supply standpoint, but also just from the infrastructure itself.
And do we have enough water, do you think?
We certainly do for the near term in terms of water rights and water availability. The Lake Chelan Watershed Planning Unit has quarterly meetings, and they talk about that every quarter.
Okay, all right. Chatting with the folks from Chelan Basin Conservancy, you call it CBC, and you're in the middle of an awareness campaign right now.
Correct. We're trying to make a push June 15th through July 15th. You might notice some flyers around town here. We know that a lot of people know who CBC is and what we do, but a lot of people either don't know who we are or just affiliate us with the project to preserve the butte. So we just want to let them know everything we do and that we're here.
And what is it that you do? How do we start there?
Well, we've got 4 major initiatives. And preserving the butte is probably where most of our effort is going right now. But the other 3 initiatives are important too. We're trying to mitigate the invasive aquatic species in Lake Chelan. The Lake Chelan Research Institute and the Keep It Blue organization kind of take the lead on that. But we're encouraging folks to participate in the voluntary boat inspection programs and working with some county organizations to see if we can make that more mandatory so everybody gets inspected before they put the boat in the water.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
Good idea, yes.
And then we've also helped people mitigate legacy orchard practices where, back in the early 1900s, they would spray lead and arsenic on the orchard trees as an insecticide.
Right. They don't do that now.
No, they don't do that now. But those are heavy metals, so they're still on the ground. And so we help people understand the resources that are out there available to them to mitigate any lead and arsenic they may have in their own grounds.
Sure. I know it's always on people's mind, the Chelan Butte. Where are we with that?
Well, so for anybody who doesn't know, this goes back to at least Mayor Mike Cooney's days, 2018, 2019. He was doing what he could to figure out how to preserve. In particular, there's 900 acres owned by a single entity up there, Golden Gate Ventures. See if there's a way that could be acquired for public use. And, he was not able to get that done before he had to leave the mayorship. So in early 2022, CBC, we decided that we would pick that up. And we actually made phenomenal progress by late 2022. We had all of our partnerships established, including the city of Chelan. They'd put $500,000 aside for a potential purchase of the land. We were probably by November of 2022, we're probably about 3 months away from actually being able to secure the land and begin serious fundraising. At that point, a individual and his wife from the west side came in and took out an option to purchase that property. So that kind of put us dead in the water there for a while. So here we are 2.5 years later. He still has that option to purchase the land. He has not executed that option. And not going to go through the entire 2.5 year history in this short segment. If people are interested in learning, what has gone on up until 2025, you can go to our websites, chelanbasinconservancy.org. We've sent out 18 updates pertaining to this. I think today we'll focus a little bit more on where we're at right now. And that really centers around 3 building permit applications that were submitted earlier this year. Let Tony talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we're chatting here with Brian Patterson, the president of Chelan Basin Conservancy, and Tony Crosetto, the treasurer. And go into that, Tony.
We identified through the city's database that the developer has applied for 3 building permits for 3 fairly small houses on the very western edge of the Butte property. So this would be fairly close to the Chelan Butte Road. And, the property is all within city limits. So from CBC's perspective, we've never really been anti-development. We've just been pro-responsible development. And to us, that means you comply with the Chelan Municipal Code, with the CMC, in all of your development activities. And a couple of those requirements relate to exactly what ENIAT's going through right now, is connection to municipal systems for water and sewer. So we'd like to see those codes adhered to. And we continue to work with the city to make sure their understanding of the code and interpretation of it kind of matches ours. We're seeing a little bit of deviation. It appears that the city's considering letting them use private septic systems up there instead of connecting to the public sewage treatment system. So we're hoping to work with the city and get a better understanding of why they're going in that direction. And then for wells, I think the city is pretty much insisting that any development up there, you still have to connect to the municipal water system. So we're encouraged by that too.
As you've had communication with the city, what are they saying when it comes to the septic systems? Any communication that way yet?
Well, as it turns out, we've had some verbal communication, no definitive understanding of why they're going the direction that they are potentially going. But we are going to continue that dialogue. We've got some written materials we're going to be submitting. We hope to have another face-to-face meeting with the city. We actually met with them back in August of 2023 on this issue. Thought we had reached a common understanding. We had gone through the regulations and so forth. But anyway, we're open to understanding where they're coming from, and the size of the development and when they're going to go one direction or another. But we are pretty confident of what the code actually says, and so we're going to continue to push for it to be enforced.
Brian, when you said you had a communication with them about that, you mean you were talking about water and sewer?
Correct. And then,
and then that changed.
More recently, we focused more on the sewer issue because we do have a common understanding on the water side of things.
A little bit of success, though, with the development and the small sites that you were talking about.
Well, we hope so. And this is just me talking. It doesn't necessarily reflect the views of CBC, but I get the feeling that the developer will tell whoever he's talking to what they want to hear. So when he talks to CBC, he says, it's only 3 small houses. That's all I'm going to do. And we question that. I don't think you can build a development up there and connect to the municipal water system and incur those costs and have your project pencil out with 3 houses. So, and I think when he talks to small business owners around town, he tells them it's more like 33 houses, and that sounds good to them. That's more customers, and it's not hugely invasive on the Butte. But when he talks to the county, he's put it in writing, or his consultant has, that they intend to develop the entire 900 acres at varying densities. So it's kind of hard to gauge exactly where he's going. I don't think he's ever been really open with his development plan, so that makes it hard to understand, what responsible development really consists of without understanding his plans.
And when you say there's 3 developments smaller, what do you mean smaller in size?
Like 1,100 square feet in total ground coverage. I think the homes themselves are more like 700, and then you add patios and porches, and they're up around 1,100.
5-10 acres?
10-acre lots.
Okay, 10-acre lots. Okay. Yeah. Brian, anything else here that's important for us to understand?
I would also add that part of the correspondence that we have seen from the developer really downplays the public's viewpoint on this particular issue. Now, our experience has been that the vast majority of the public is very much against any development in the Butte, and that just has to do with the iconic nature of the Butte, that it's just very special land. And development in other areas of Chelan is completely different than development on the Butte. And so we started this whole endeavor from our perspective out with trying to get a feel for the public's support for this. So we put an online petition on our website. And it says, sign this petition if you are in favor of preserving the Chelan Butte from development. And we pretty rapidly got 3,200 people to sign this. And the vast majority, almost 2/3 of those people, are people that live here in the valley. And the rest of the people pretty much were people who have second homes or they come out and visit Lake Chelan Valley. But we kept seeing this correspondence that was implying that there was really just a handful of people. In fact, most recently, the phrase was a handful of rich people who just don't want their views destroyed. So what we undertook here recently was to go back out to the public and say, okay, we've got the number, but the number doesn't seem to be impressing anybody. Put it in your own words, come back to us, write something that expresses exactly how you feel about the potential development of the Butte. And we got a tremendous response to that. Just in a few days, we had over 300 people wrote in, or 300 testimonies that sometimes husband and wife would sign them, so representing 370 or more people. We compiled them all. It's over 150 pages of testimonials from people. It's on our website now, so you can go on there. There's a button there to view the public testimonials, and they are some really heartfelt, emotional testimonials from a wide variety of people. Again, most of them living here in the valley. They just don't want to see development up there.
Chatting with Brian Patterson, the president of Chelan Basin Conservancy, and also Tony Crosetto, the treasurer. What's the website that people can go to find that information out?
ChelanBasinConservancy.org.
Okay. All right. Great to see you guys. Have a wonderful week. And we sure appreciate you coming in.